everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Bengal Buzz. I'm Brianna Negron, and today we're discussing understanding younger generations. And from a high school standpoint, the younger generation is going to be Gen Alpha, and that might be our younger siblings, or maybe your niece or nephew. But we're also going to be discussing how to get other generations to understand us. And also my personal opinion on how we change from generation to generation and what gets lost in translation. So I feel like every generation has a feeling like their parents can't understand them or don't understand them, and they also feel above the generation that comes after them. Each generation faces a different set of problems and social culture that alters the way they function. And especially because these things occur in adolescence, and it shapes the way we learn to go about life. So for example, my parents, who spent most of their childhood without a mobile phone, don't understand how not having a phone today isolates you from the people around you. I actually wish that was different so badly, because now we live in a time where everyone's making plans over the phone, and it's impossible to find others that's on the same page as you to make plans without one, and it's just so much harder. So I definitely feel like parenting styles have a lot to do with this, and that parents should be more aware that their kids aren't going to think the same way as them just because they were raised by them, which is kind of confusing, but there are so many variables in your child's life that you can't control, and just letting these things and their environment impact them is gonna come out in a million different ways. Your child could turn out to be a million different kinds of people that you could have never expected, because you can't control every aspect of their life. Can you think of a time that your parent did something or said something that has stuck with you, or kind of like something emotional that they did, and it keeps resurfacing again and again? A lot of the times, parents don't even remember that event. They don't even know that the way they reacted to one small thing could shape the way you become. And that's so interesting to me, because because of something that they might have done that could have caused you to start an entirely different career just because of a comment that they said. That's how it works. Like, obviously most things, like butterfly effect or whatever, but I just find that very, very crazy. There's so much I could say about the relationship between generations, but moving on, I will say that as time goes on, we're becoming more and more open about mental health. That's what I talk about on here. And that doesn't mean we're going soft. People 50 years ago struggled with mental health, and people centuries ago struggled with mental health. But we're the generation that's trying to break the stigma, and it's becoming normalized to talk about it. Older folks might think that Gen Z is lazy and getting emotional and we're getting soft, but keep in mind that each generation deals with a load of different issues and stressors that's completely different from the one before them as we change. For us, we have constant propaganda coming through our devices, political stress, and financial unreliability. Sometimes it feels like the only stable thing we can count on is the instability of the world we live in. And I want to say that Gen Z has grown up in the period of the most change in the world, but I actually have no idea if that's true, because it just feels that way as technology advances so quickly. I remember when I started seeing the first few Ring doorbells in the neighborhood, and now that's like the standard doorbell. Like, everybody has a video doorbell, which is so, like, it's kind of dystopian. And when it comes to Gen Alpha, I think you have to understand that most of them are as fluent in technology as they are in English, and probably even more than they probably know more about technology than they know about English, because you start putting a child in front of an iPad before they can talk, then yeah, that's going to be like their lifeline. Kids now are getting more emotionally intelligent because as time goes on, we're being taught to manage our feelings and not hide them as much. And in the end, I think the most important thing when trying to understand another generation is try to understand the way that they grew up and how that might have affected how they see things and how they interact with others and how they think. You can definitely teach an old dog new tricks, so changing your mindset is possible at any point in your life, and you can also help somebody change theirs. Thank you for tuning in this week, and make sure you check out the Roaring Bengals website and follow the Instagram at FVHS Newspaper. I'll see you next week, so take care of yourself, take care of your mind, and take care of your body. Bye, Bengals.